If I was the devil, I would need to destroy America, because it's all that stands in my way. I would do so by dividing people into opposing groups, caring little about whether they hate liberals or conservatives. As long as they hate, I would convince them they were locked in a political battle, not a spiritual one, and get them to believe their faith and religious beliefs have no part in shaping how laws are made and life is lived. As absurd as that is, if I was the devil, I would kill as many children as possible inside the womb. Those who survived would be handed over to teachers who taught them nothing of value, but instructed them in my ways. Their teachers would call wisdom foolishness, and foolishness wisdom, and recruiting so-called experts and college professors to my cause to lend it a veneer of authority. By the time I was done, these children would be unable to define things as basic as marriage or male and female. If I was the devil, I would make judgmental one of the worst insults imaginable and leave people unable to make judgments, unable to create new sins. I would create new words to relabel old ones and celebrate them as virtues, words like choice, tolerance, and inclusion for my followers, and phobia, hate speech, and bigot for those who oppose my will. I would have my people celebrate pride, blissfully unaware that it was the first of all sins, and first because it was mine. If I was the devil, I would jail those who protest the killing of babies, but release criminals because they do my will. I would put weak, doddering, selfish leaders in place to put these policies in place and seek to corrupt or destroy those who resist. I would unleash a virus, sowing fear, punishing anyone who tried to speak the truth. I would be sure to close churches, shaming believers out of communal worship for the first time in 2,000 years. Something not even Nero could accomplish, while leaving casinos and strip clubs open. I would use the IRS, FBI, and DOJ to investigate people of faith, wasting time and resources while my own servants plotted true destruction. I would emasculate the military, rendering them powerless to resist their more determined enemies, while those enemies quietly grew stronger. I would surrender national sovereignty by erasing all borders and subjecting America's laws to those of foreign countries and organizations, whom I already control. And if I was the devil, I would do anything in my power to keep Christians from doing the one thing they have never managed to do: form a united front to fight the powers of darkness, coming together to join their votes, their wealth, their social influence, and power for change, lest the sleeping giant awaken and snatch my victory from me. And to make sure of that, I would never let this ad see the light of day. This, my friends, is why we created God Super PAC, to awaken that sleeping giant, to unite and mobilize 210 million Christians of every denomination and fight for the soul of this nation before it's too late. Your voice, your vote, your support can make the difference. For more information, get with the person that shared this video with you, or watch the next video that shares all the details. Remember, the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.